That's right. Commenting on this, and Jacob sent messengers to Esau, his brother. We got to touch on, as you alluded to earlier, going back or reverting back to this notion of what our speech can create. Yaakov is demonstrating in this moment mastery and power over the Malachim on high. We say that everything we speak becomes something, and that thing that it becomes is an angel, and that angel can shape and form the environment. So the environment that we are in, you created it. We always ask ourselves, why me? Why is this? Why is this? You created it. The words you speak shape and mold your environment. Also be careful, because your words could be pure. But if you are constantly around people of impure speech and they happen to be in your environment, remember, everything you speak creates something. So even your proximity to people of Lashon Hara can be dangerous, because if they have an agent, an emissary on high that's working against your favor to create destruction in your environment, that's collateral damage. You're going to get touched just because of your proximity to it. Hence, the Torah always says, remove thyself from evil, separate yourself from evil and even the evil one. But what I want to say in this moment before we move on to the next verse is that when the Torah says that Jacob sent messengers, remember, in the previous Torah portion, Jacob encounters a band of angels. Now he's demonstrating before his brother Esau, that he has power and mastery over them. Because now he's sending them, angels, to do his will. And the text goes on to say, and Jacob commanded them. So not only can he use angels, but this is power and authority, because they now had to answer to him. A secret that most people who read the Bible may not know, but through our tradition as Israel, we should know. Man has a superior neshama in respect to angels. There's a superiority that we have that angels do not. Hence, Chazal, the sages of the oral tradition, teach that at man's creation, the angels were jealous. And they even say that Psalms 8, where David is speaking, is actually the Malachim on high, when they say, what is man that thou hast created him? And they even say, shall a son of fire, remember Psalms 104, he maketh his ministers of flames of fire, the angels, their essence, fire. The angels exclaim in heaven, witnessing man's creation and all that it entails. Should a son of fire bow before a son of clay? Angels believed that they in potential were greater. This is why when we speak of the portion of Noach and there being Nephilim that come down from on high, some treat those Nephilim as angels that came back here because they believed that they could be greater than man. But they also knew that they would have to go through the experiences of man to become greater. Because one of the greatest secrets in the physical world is that through struggle, through challenge, man can become greater. That is the essential difference between us and angels. When angels are created, and remember our tradition teaches, there are 2 points in time when angels were created, on day 2 and day 5. Angels that have one mission and one mission only, they're created on day 2. Angels that are constant, that are always here, they're created on day 5. They're created after day 4 because their proximity is to the stars and planets, which allows them dexterity in the universe. Remember, we're reading in the book of Judges, where Deborah sings in her song that from their very orbits, they fought against Barak and Sisera. What is she talking about? Stars and planets fighting? I don't know about anything on high fighting except for angels. But our tradition teaches us the stars and planets serve as bodies to the Malachim on high, allowing them dexterity, movement in our world. So we learn from all of these traditions a lot of deep and enigmatic truths. I can move further, but I'm going to hold a measure of it for tonight's class. But I simply want to get out before we move on to the next verse, that this verse is literally telling us and displaying that Yaakov had mastery over the angels. And he's using it to an extent to show his brother Esau, I know you're great, But remember, we're twins.